Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the crunkiest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man Aubrey Taylor in the building, Houston Business Connection, and I am the five-star general. The good doctor can't seem to find a judge that want to hear a case. Man, I'm going to tell you what, man, she might need to get Judge Judy. But we going to have a conversation about it tonight, man. And on top of that, Commissioner Rodney Ellis is a thief. Let's go. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in. Because you know, without y'all, we wouldn't have a show. And I'm going to start it off. Today you saw two initiatives that were rolled out by the Harris County Commissioner's Court, as well as the Houston Police Department, City of Houston. And what you rolled out sound real familiar to us. What you did is you stole our plan. Hold on, what you saying, man? I'm saying that Commissioner Ellis, who stood in front of the cameras along with County Judge Lena Hidalgo, with y'all good lying ass, like y'all brainstormed all this stuff you came up with today, you stole our plan. Not only am I pissed, but OG1 is pissed. Dr. Muhammad is pissed. Never heard the dude cuss until today.
Oh, man.
Pissed off. And it's so amazing that you do this. And just this Saturday that just passed, Muhammad and the good brothers from the Nation of Islam stopped a shooting in South Lawn. They got between the guns. And you clowns now roll out this plan. You know what's amazing? I'm not really that, I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. Our plan was $900,000 a year. But today you allocate $6 million a year. So who gonna peel off $5.1 million a year and stick it in their pockets? Who you gonna give the money to act like you outsourcing to do what we do, what you don't? You're not gonna be able to do it. I'm telling you now, you go look at, we looked at case studies from Boston and all of this. Ain't Boston, homeboy. How dare you? And don't say you didn't steal the plan, Negro. Because Dr. Muhammad sat in several meetings with you, with your team, with our plan. The same way he sat in meetings with city council people. The one thing that's got us right now, that's got us majorly upset. Y'all say Troy Fenner down with y'all, huh? Troy was there when we developed the plan. HPD, let me tell you how they work with me. And I'm going to be straight up with you. Maybe the good doctor can talk to me later on or whatever, but right now, get your ass in them streets and handle your business. We shouldn't have to stop gunfights since you got the plan and you know what you're going to do. You ain't going to do nothing but get out there and fuck this plan up and then act like it could never work. But you willing to throw away $6 million a year to act like you know what you're doing, and you don't. Ellis, you have screwed this county up from the top to the bottom, from the front to the back, to side, from the rooter to the tutor. You've made Harris County one of the most unsafe counties in the country with your experiments that you're doing. And it's sad because in the end, you'll have to come right back to us, or you'll send one of them old house Negroes to us to try to placate us. But you ain't placating me this time, homeboy. So if y'all just tuning in, that plan they trying to roll out today, the one they allocated $6 million for, that's our plan. And you didn't even have the decency to say where you got it from. It's like you and your county judge who has the common sense of an ant. Y'all sat there and brainstormed all this. Y'all are disrespectful. And I pray to God the violence don't come to your front door. Because if it do, we ain't helping you. Now, what we gonna do, we gonna work for our community. We ain't gonna stop working for our people. We'll get our own money. So you go take that $6 million, which the plan was only $900,000, y'all, per year. You'd have gave us that. We could operate for 6-7 years with that. But that ain't what you wanted. You're a self-centered, cynical House Negro County Commissioner Rodney Ellis. I said it and I stand on it. You don't care about the life of people in this city, because if you did in this county, you wouldn't have made the move you made today. And like I told the good doctor, just because you got a race car, that don't mean you know how to drive it. What Ellis today was the equivalent of somebody taking a donkey to the Kentucky Derby. You about to make an ass out yourself, homeboy, just like with your bail reform. You gonna make an ass out yourself on this one. And in the meantime, we got to navigate these streets and be unsafe while you going through this propaganda. I'll be glad when you Negroes get up out of office, man. And I'm gonna do everything in my power to get you Negroes out of office. Because you don't give a damn about black people, white people, Latino people, LGBTQ people, because this whole county is unsafe. And your county judge need to go back up under the rock where she came from. Because if you tell her to go jump off the Ship Channel Bridge, Rodney Ellis, what she gonna do is say, nah, which way did I go? Which way do I go? She gonna go jump her ignorant ass off that goddamn bridge. And that's what y'all did today. You could have really made this county safe. But that ain't what you want to do. So now I'm gonna dig off in your business, homeboy. Now I'm gonna light that fire up under you again. Go play the stock market with taxpayer money. Aubrey, what's going on? You got something you want to say about this, man?
Man, this crime situation and what these boys got going on right now, man, is just, man, I'm at a loss for words. But one thing that I can tell you is that the crime is affecting everybody, dude. And this crime issue is going to be a major piece and deciding factor in the 2022 midterm elections, man. We got a situation to where, one, it hadn't been rolled out right. Two, we're dealing with bad policy on this situation, dude. It was bad policy from the get-go, from the time Ellis got here with this situation. Now, in terms of the plan that you guys are saying was stolen from you, I don't know a whole lot about that. But I tell you, man, what we're looking at is a situation where there's no deterrent to committing crime. There's no deterrent whatsoever out here for these individuals that are committing crimes. And you have a situation where the people who's in charge, man, don't have the ability or capacity, even mental capacity, to deal with the issue and to speak directly to the issue to get some of this stuff stopped. Now, I don't know, what's being done. But the one thing that I don't want to see is I don't want to see it all get placed at the seat at the feet of good judges, man. We've got to find out the root cause for this crime, and we've got to find out a workable solution to deal with it. And that needs to happen, man, in quick order.
The root cause to the crime, and this is my honest opinion, is allowing these violent felony offenders to get out on multiple bails. Now watch this. It ain't all judges. It's the judges that's under Ellis's thumb. It's the ones that are under his thumb that are allowing this to happen. And now this place is unsafe. And this Negro and his crisis intervention team, which one of y'all gonna have a conversation with one of these 17, 18-year-old youngsters with an M16 in his hand? Which one of y'all gonna stand between them guns? Dr. Muhammad and them did it just Saturday. They stopped the shooting. Which one of y'all gonna do it? So to me, it's not all the judges. It's the ones that's under Ellis's thumb.
Gary, but with that, man, we're charged as a community with identifying those judges, right? The key is to identify the ones that's under his thumb. And you can do that through the campaign finance reports. You can do that through the actions that we've been taking. But you've got to identify the ones that's under his thumb. That's relatively easy to do. That's something that we can accomplish. Once that's done, then the way you deal with it is, not by marching and protesting and all that, but you run someone against them. You convince a duly qualified attorney to run against them in the 2022 primary. So these are mostly incumbent Dem judges we're talking about. On December the 13th is going to be the filing date for duly qualified attorneys who want to become judges. Now, I'm not advocating for anybody to seek out or to try to unseat good judges. We have some judges who've done a very good job that should remain on the job. But we've got some piss poor judges who need to be challenged. They need to be challenged, and it doesn't need to come from the Republican side. Many of the other Democratic judges know who they are, but they're barred. They can't deal with this. So this is going to have to become an issue that the community at large looks at and does something about. And the way you do something about it, again, is not by going to the courthouse, standing on the steps, singing Kumbaya. It's not by marching across town. It's by finding someone, a duly qualified candidate, that one has a heart for us and has the credentials to run, not based on their race, not based on any of the, not based on their gender, but ones who believe in the Constitution and the laws that govern us as a free nation. And then you put those folks on the bench. Those are the people we need on the bench. We need judges who have backbone, dude. We can't have folks on the bench who are afraid that they're not going to get elected, that they're afraid of party bosses, that they're afraid that Ellis is going to primary them. Hell, we need to start primarying them. The people need to start primarying the bad candidates, the bad judges that we have on the bench. We can identify who they are. Once we identify who they are, then what has to happen is you got to run a campaign against them. And that's going to take money. You have to support the candidates who would decide to get up to run against them. They will need campaign signs, they'll need campaign literature, and they'll need a ground game.
We need to primary Ellis. We need to primary Ellis.
Well, Ellis is not up this term.
No,
Ellis
I know.
Ellis is not up.
He needs to be primary.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He needs to be primary. The dude ain't worth two dead flies smashed together. The dude is trash. Just point blank, period. The dude is trash. And the ones that are making these decisions, they ride around with security all day long. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. They say say city council, well, the mayor, he got security. The county judge got security. Ellis got security. Everybody that's making these messed up decisions run around with security all day long. But Negro, I got a brand new scooter and I'm going to burn the tires up campaigning against your stinking ass.
You got a minute to wait for that though, Gary.
Man, I'm campaigning now.
Yeah,
but
we got
find somebody to run against him because he's trash.
Yeah, but that's the, in terms of dealing with the issue that you're concerned about, what has to happen is you've got to look at what's at hand right now, right? The county court at law judges, the criminal court at law judges, the civil court at law judges that are on the ballot, that are going to be on the ballot right now. You deal with that issue. You accomplish your objectives there. Then you move to 2024, man. This is a pivotal election. I mean, so yeah, so you find your person that's going to run with Ellis, but that's a sidebar issue, man. You can't do anything about Ellis right now. I mean, unless they get him on that artwork stuff. But you know, that's something. I digress from that. Look, the deal is stay focused, deal with what's at hand right now. What you can control right now is to get duty qualified attorneys to run for office. The date they need to sign up by is December the 13th. There are candidates out right now collecting their signatures, so they got to get rolling if they're going to do that. That particular issue is running simultaneous with your issue. Now, your election is going to be November. Now, 30 days after that, these ballots for 2022 are going to be set. At that particular date, you don't need people, the bad judges, running free, man. So you stay focused on what you're doing. You put Ellis in your peripheral, man, and you deal with what's at hand right now.
Yeah, I get it. Trust me, I understand it. I understand it, but you know what? The life of people is more important to me than what this dude is doing right now. And the moves that he's making has everybody in danger. Every single person. You, your people, my people, the people that's watching, if you in Harris County, you in danger. Because these people are playing. They're playing. Another way for them to skim money.
I agree with you on that, man, but you got to go back to that's a sidebar issue at this particular point. I mean, you do what you got to do. You work on that. But the thing that we can do something about right now is making sure, one, that at some point we got to look at this DA's office. I mean, all this work that we're doing and the things that we're talking about, man, it's in vain because you don't have a DA that will do anything but go after people who are political outsiders. Man, that's a problem, dude. And then we don't have the attorney generals not doing anything. I can tell you 50 people who should be in jail right now, 50 who should be in jail who are key players, man. But nothing is being done on that. So what you got to do is you go back, you go to your drawing board, and you determine what can we do something about. What we can do something about is to convince the voters, right, that this place is completely corrupt and something needs to be done about it. But you don't want all the collateral damage that we're looking at right now. What you want to do is we're going to have to vet these judges, right, so that these people know that they're not going to be able to just, slap the hell out of somebody and then, go to jail and they're right back out in 30 minutes, man. There's no deterrent for that. There's no, they're not even thinking twice about the crimes that they're committing, especially the violent ones, because they know that they're going to be out of jail before in the morning. So something has to happen with that. And this is criminal justice reform going wrong. This is not what it's intended to be. And it's affecting everybody. Every corner of the city is being affected by this, man.
So let me put Kelly's comment up. This is Kelly's comment. But if we don't get voter integrity laws, it doesn't matter.
She's exactly right. You got to remember now, you have a situation here to where we have one of the most well-known criminal judges, man, in the history of Harris County, who stepped off of her bench to try to get this done. And because of some nefarious actors and stuff, I mean, I'm going to tell you, man, that was just a screwed up election all the way wrong. I'm still, pissed about that. So without the laws in place to deter some of this at the voter box, at the ballot box, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. I said, I think last week, that you have a situation where on the Republican side, you see incumbents get beat, dude. Briscoe Cain defeated an incumbent to win his election. Valerie Swanson in House District 150 unseated. Matter of fact, Briscoe only won by 26 votes, man, to unseat an incumbent. You don't see that happening on the other side. So you need these voter integrity laws to get in place so that these people can't run through the nursing homes. They can't do their thing inside of the polling places. If you can cut that down, man, you'll have a situation whereby which we can have fair elections. You got to remember, man, before Ellis took office in 2016, if you go back to 2012, man, with over 1 million votes cast with President Obama and Mitt Romney running in Harris County, man, it was only 971 votes that separated them. It wasn't long ago to where we would have Democratic winners and Republican winners, man, where we had each party where it was close. Typically, these elections in Harris County were decided by 52-48 margins. I mean, what we're seeing now is outlandish, dude. Anybody who has any sense of the understanding of politics knows that there's something wrong with the numbers that we're seeing. Now, again, but by me saying that, I'm not saying that the judges are cheating, but there's some nefarious actors, man, that's doing some numbers in these Harris County elections. These new election laws, man, if we're able to get them in place, would help significantly so that individuals who decide that they want to become public officials can run against anyone and not have to kiss the ring of anybody or have to go to anyone else and get the approval of them to become an elected official, man. And that's the issue that we have. That's what's in place. When you have people like Top, you've got Ellis, and you have these people who are kingmakers who can run their game, dude, on this system. What can you do? But we need some good folks with some courage, man, to step up and run for office and not be afraid. In that, the part that nobody wants to hear is that costs money, dude. Those people and the people who are doing this, they make money by doing it. They're protecting their interests. But power only concedes to one thing, dude. That's a power that's greater than itself.
I tell you what, man, I want to look at something tonight, and it's just I kind of give you some insight. I'm running for school board, but it's 5 seats that's up for school board this year. You have District 1 with what's that? Elizabeth Santos, and right now it looks like she's gonna run against Jeanette Garza, but Miss Santos hasn't filed any paperwork. She hasn't filed any paperwork, and from what I'm understanding, she's not gonna run. So unless Jeanette Garza Linder gets an opponent, she would walk into this seat unchallenged. That's in District 1. In District 2, you have Maria Benzon versus Sue Dygard. In District 6, Holly Marie Villaseca versus Kendall Baker. In District 7, you have Bridget Wade versus Ann Sung. And in District 9, you got Myrna Guidry, whatever her name is, Myrna S or Myrna L. She got 2 different names, versus Gary W. Monroe, which is 5-star. I want to go over here and I want to look at District 7 tonight. And I'll kind of fill you in on what you missed. District 7 is Ann Sung versus Bridget Wade. Bridget Wade, from what I see, has raised more money than all of us combined. Last time I checked her campaign finance report, she had $124,000. $124,000. It's a nonpartisan position, so I really don't care what side of the ball she's on. I had the opportunity to speak with her in a phone call, and she said she's a mom and she's just fed up. She's fed up with what she's seen. And I can agree with that because that's where I'm at. I'm fed up with what I've seen. Now, the person that she's running against is Ann Sung. Ann has done 4 years on the school board. And my good people, this is a race you need to pay attention to if you're in that district. Ann is former, from what I understand, Teach for America. Big supporter of CVPE. The question would be to me, if I could vote in that race, who would I vote for? Based on what I've seen for 4 years, I'd vote for Bridget Wade. And I'm going to tell you why I would vote for Bridget. Because our school system is imploding. And Miss Sung was one of the main characters that helped us get to that point. And the thing is, it's not personal. First of all, I don't think she had the drive or the passion to ever sit in that seat. She kind of defers, for me, to the teachers union, HFT. Whatever HFT say, that's what she kind of does. She always has to abstain from voting on certain issues because it's tied to vendor money. So she's too tied into the vendor money. And more importantly, she was a member of the 5 people that did the walk-in quorum when they violated, the Open Meetings Act and all that stuff, when they fired Grenita in the open meeting. This in itself shone the light on the Houston Independent School District that made us look horrible. 3 days later, they had to rescind the firing and give Grenita her job back. And then for the next 2 years, she was one of the people that terrorized this woman. So it's not that I'm a fan of Grenita. I'm not a fan of her behavior. I'm not a fan of her behavior that she's exhibited. And the thing is, she's one of the reasons that TEA is inches away from taking over this school district. And we should not forget that. So those that are out there, I'm running 2 campaigns. One to get me on the school board and another to get these rabbits off. The ones that's been jumping around doing what they wanted to do, they need to go. I'm being honest with you. All 5 positions should be open. Because they ain't worth 2 dead flies, man. Look at our school system and answer this question. Does everything rise and fall on leadership? Everything rises and falls on leadership. And the highest level of the law in the Houston Independent School District is the school board. And it's been dysfunctional. It has exhibited traces of racism. Why would we not? You have the option to vote for Bridget Wade or Ann Sung. That's your business. But if it was me, I'd vote for Wade because I couldn't do another 4 years of the foolishness. Aubrey?
I don't know Wade, but I definitely, that's a lot of money, man, for a school board race. So I'd like to see where that money's coming from to try and determine, who's behind her. But something definitely has to happen. I don't play ball too much in the school board races, but this time I am very concerned. And I think that change is needed. And I'm more concerned about your race. If someone else came to me, though, I think that I'd like to join you in terms of trying to do some things to help bring about some change. But as it concerns right now, man, I don't know. I'm very, very disgruntled about what we're being seen, and I'm more concerned about the back room channels and the things that's going on, man, and the people who have keys in the backs of our elected officials. So again, from the school board,
on the school board, you definitely got a bunch of people with some keys in their backs because they answering to the vendors, they're answering to the politicians, they're answering to the teachers union, and it's leaving the kids high and dry. It's leaving the teachers high and dry, the paraprofessionals high and dry, the bus drivers, the custodians. You see what I'm saying? And the people that work in the kitchen, they just leaving them high and dry. My opponent, for example, didn't even want to give teachers raises. And I'm like, where does this woman come from? But she running the circle with them professional Negroes down there in Southeast Houston.
How do you think she got how do you think she got appointed to the seat in the first place, man?
Well, who was behind? I don't know how she jumped over some, because there were other people that may not have been as qualified as me, but they were definitely more qualified than her. So it had to be politically influenced. I would bet my life on it. With some of the moves that they make, that they've made, that they plan on making, it's all politically motivated. And that's the reason our school district is all messed up right now. 4 years of Myrna Guidry, we won't have no black schools in Houston, man.
That's a bold statement, though, Gary.
Man, that's a real statement. Yeah. Myrna Guidry wouldn't think twice about closing down those schools. Myrna Gidry wouldn't see. When you close a school, it's because you saying the school is failing. Yeah. But in all actuality, you failed the school. You didn't come up with anything that you could have presented to the administration to possibly save the school. You got people right now that sit on the school board that talk out this side of their mouth and then they talk out that side of their mouth. And they don't care nothing about these kids, man. Yeah. They talking, you know, rhetoric. You remember the old John Wayne movie where the old boy was in that movie, and every time they asked him something, he said, rhetoric. Rhetoric. This is what these school board represented, rhetoric. They don't. These people don't know education. And the Houston Community College, as well as the Houston Independent School District, is nothing but a graveyard for the recycled politicians or the crash dummies that don't know what they're doing in politics.
I can't argue with you on that one, my bro.
Yeah, and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way.
I mean, if they run for school board and they don't win, Reagan Flowers. Then a month later, you running for ACC. They'll appoint you to ACC. What you know about the college system? Man, I tell you this, what I know. Since y'all want to play around here and got us in danger, man, I'm finna start snitching on all y'all. Y'all getting that money off them after school programs. Your homegirl and homeboy running them programs, and y'all stealing that money from them kids. Man, I'm finna turn y'all into them people and have them helicopters all around that school district again.
You gonna turn them in.
And I'm snitching. I'm snitching because that's all they doing. That's all. Dude, you just got almost $2 billion in URSA funds. You put 75% of that money into data. Programs. Come on, bro. So somebody got to develop the software. Somebody got to shoot it out to the school districts. That's how they make their money. Yeah. This how they make their money. And the superintendent, he's starting to look like look, I'm gonna say this here. For y'all out there that's rodeo clowns that practice voodoo, if you need another pin dog, go up to HISD and get Miller House. Come on, get the new superintendent, man. Because it looked like somebody else. I already know who yanking his chain. See, let me just say this here. Let me say this here. It ain't nothing going on in that building that I don't know about. Mr. House, you put mandates down all you want. They still gonna tell me. You ain't making no decisions, big homie. That's just like the biggest decision they finna make at the moment is should they mandate mask in the school district next week. That decision already been made. Y'all just wait until Thursday. You got all them people gonna come up there complaining from both sides when y'all already know what you done decided. Because this how y'all work. So, Gary, you're running for school board. What do you think about it? I think the parents should get to choose. What you need to do is provide a virtual option. So if somebody don't want to send their kid to school with a mask on, they can go virtual. Or if they want to send their kid to school with a mask on and it's a problem, however it go, provide the virtual option. Yeah. But I believe in the Constitution. I believe in the laws of the state of Texas, whether I like them or not. I hate wearing a seatbelt. But I bet not drive that car without one. Because if I drive that car without one, they ain't gonna care if I liked it or not. I'm gonna get a ticket. So the laws are the laws. Everybody want to circumvent the law to the best of their ability. And that's not how this works. I got a new respect for the Constitution after I done sat in federal court for 2 years fighting for my rights with the Constitution. So can't nobody be mad at me for how I feel. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm Gary Monroe, travel all around the country. The only time I put the mask on is when I'm on the plane. But 3 weeks ago, we both know a doctor that told me, don't you wear that mask on that plane.
Yeah.
It's going to restrict your breathing. You mess around, don't get off that plane.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways. So I'm not going to tell a parent if they're wrong, but what I'm saying is that decision has already been made. It has already been made. But that's not the way it's supposed to go. Go ahead, bro. I'm on fire tonight, man.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I think that decision's already made. I mean, I see that a lot in politics where you have these people, they come forward and they're very passionate about what they're trying to get across. But the decision's already been made in the back room, man. It's nothing but theatrics that we're dealing with. Theatrics for the public to make us think that we have a transparent process that we're looking at. When again, the kingmakers behind the scenes have made the decisions.
Why are you sitting on a board or city council or anything if you are allowing people to make decisions for you? That's not what we voted you in for. We voted you in so that you could come into office and you could listen to your constituents. That's the biggest lie honestly, Aubrey, that's the second biggest lie that's ever been told. The first biggest lie that's been told is the devil did not exist. The second biggest lie is politicians saying, I'm going to listen to you when I get in office and I'm going to do what you tell me to do. And all they do is lie.
Yeah, but Gary, man, for the most part, when we're dealing with elected officials, those elected officials, from the way I see it, in many cases, are beholden to the people who got them there, not the voters. Because you got to remember here in Harris County, man, with the process that we're seeing play out, and the kingmaker type of hierarchy that we have set up, man, the people who, in many cases, who are doing the endorsing, the people who are giving the money, those are the people who have the listening ear of many of these politicians, because they're coming out of different camps, man. You got to remember, man, we got about 5 tribes, what I call tribes out here in the African American community, man. And some of the individuals commingle and go across the tribal lines. So it's hard to determine. And I've been looking at this for 30 years, man. And this particular process that we have set up here, man, is being controlled by a handful of people. And we gotta ferret that out, man, to expect any change. These individuals can make phone calls, and they make one phone call, dude, and they can shut a person down. Believe me, I've had it done to me. So they're controlling the money, they're controlling the access to the different communities. Some of these individuals, if they can stop not a road candidate, but they can stop an independent candidate from even getting into the churches, man. They have that much power. Now, some folks think that it's perceived power. I think it's a little bit more than that, man. They actually have the ability to shut folks down. Now, and that's with folks who only deal with one side. One of the things that's worked for me and that's enabled me to last so long out here is because I have support coming from both sides. And because of that, it enables me to kind of fight off some of the attacks whereby which other individuals who's relying on one party can't do it, man. You cannot do it. They can shut a guy down in a minute out here.
Well, guess what? That's why we got to take their power from them.
Yeah,
I ain't kissing no rings. I ain't kissing no ass. I ain't kissing nothing.
Yeah, and you don't have to.
I'm not. I'm just not going to do it. I'm telling them, bring your best game. You're going to have to play your best game against me November 2nd. And that's all it boils down to. Because what they're doing to our school system is attributing to this crime rate. And they could care less because they don't live in our communities.
Yeah. And
I'm sick of the kingmakers. They don't put any fear in my heart at all.
And they should.
At the bottom line is we got to start doing different. We got to do this different. It's not working the way that it is now. It's just not working. You have that race. You have Holly Villaseca versus Kendall Baker. people would ask me, who would you vote for? Well, I ain't never been to Bedrock, and I definitely don't want to vote for a Flintstone sister. I'm going to be straight up with you, man. She does whatever Ann Sung does. She votes whatever way Ann Sung votes. She was the one that bust the whole walking quorum thing open because she snitched on everybody else.
Man, I heard about that.
So you violated the law. But what we can't do, we can't forget the repercussions of what they did, because that's a reason that TEA wants to come in here and take over our school district. And in all actuality, TEA really want them gone. You got the first two out the building 2 years ago. Now you need to get the other three. One of them ain't running, so you got two more. Your choices may not be grand, but I don't think they can do no worse than these two done did. Yeah. I don't think so. Now, as far as Dygard, I've said it before, Sue Dygard doesn't have a backbone. She's a swing vote. She go anywhere the wind blow. And more importantly, she's smart because she never wants to make her constituents mad. So she makes sure that she votes in a way, or she abstains from voting to not upset her constituents.
You know, there's another thing. I don't want to switch gears off of that, but when you look at that situation, so didn't they immediately rehire Saavedra? What did they just kind of refresh my memory a little bit on that?
Well, what they did, they had plotted for over 3 months to get rid of Dr. Grenita Latham. They didn't hide their hands while they were plotting. That's how I knew, and was able to write an article about them wanting to get rid of her 3 months prior to them doing it. I wrote that article, how they wanted to get rid of her, and they were going to do it. So they didn't hide their hand. The night of the board meeting, I'm at the house, I'm watching the meeting in the driveway, and blam, I make a motion to relieve Dr. Grenita Latham of her duties and bring back Abe Saavedra. But 3 months prior, I told you they were bringing back Saavedra. How did I know? Because I know everything go on in that building. You see what I'm saying? So they fired her. And I'm going to be straight up with you. People like, well, they had a big old meeting in Emancipation Park, and all the politicians were there. And, you know, they said they wanted Dr. Latham back. And that Monday, they brought Dr. Latham. That ain't why they brought Latham back. They did it wrong. You want to know why they brought Latham back?
Why?
I had 36 schools ready to rock and roll that Monday morning. Wasn't no kids going in the building. And if 36 schools worth of kids didn't go in them buildings, they would have lost millions. That's why they let her come back. But when they brought her back, they tormented her. They disrespected her. So Millard House, as soon as you fall out of favor with them, they're going to treat you just like OJ. They're going to remind you what color you is. So he playing the game right now. He's not even calling the shots, man. He ain't even calling the shots. I'm going out left field, and I'm saying the new superintendent, and people say you support him. I support him after I see the work. I need to see the work. I ain't just jumping on no bandwagon. You ain't even calling the shots, homie. Bet you couldn't look me in the eye and tell me I'm wrong. You ain't calling them shots. You don't even notice the shots you done made that you done called already. You don't even know the people that call the shots. Rick Cruz, you the superintendent? Rick Cruz, you the superintendent? You the deputy? Say, man, tell your superintendent to man up. You getting paid almost, you at $350,000 a year. When you gonna make a decision, homeboy? Man. And I said what I said. Does that mean I wouldn't be able to work with him? Yeah, I really would, because as long as we honest with each other, that's the only thing that matters. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody pays you $350,000 for you to come in, somebody up under you making decisions. Make the decisions. So to go in there and say, well, I think we need to do a mass mandate. How that shit work when you play football, homie? Can't put no mask up on that helmet. How that work? How that work? I just can't wait to see them running down the court, shooting threes with the mask on. How that work? We need to give some special consideration to how we're doing things right now. But more importantly, we teach kids every day, and they've even rolled it into the curriculum to where you need to, this is what you do when you're dealing with the law. Well, I'm sorry, but right now you might be violating it. Is that what you really want to do? We set the example. Of course, I want everybody to be safe. But there's a way to accomplish that goal without disrespecting any parent. It's a way to do that. I'm sorry, but it's a way to do it. If you want your kid at school every day with no mask, send them to school with no mask. What you gonna do if you put a mandate on them and the governor said no? What happens if they show up at school with no mask? You are obligated to educate them. So what you gonna do? It's not something that you can brainstorm. You really need the input to make this decision. This is what I'm thinking. You need the input at the school level. You need the input from the community with the parents and the kids. You need the input of the board. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But see, they don't understand when they about to twist themselves. Let me ask you a question. Who governs schools in the state of Texas?
In the TAA?
TEA.
Yeah.
Mike Morav. Who's Mike Morav's direct supervisor?
I'm not sure, man.
The governor of the state of Texas.
No.
Who gave the mandate and said no masks, no mandates?
Yeah, the governor. Governor Abbott.
They're going to follow TEA's guidance, huh? Man, y'all setting y'allself up and don't even see it. And you in the middle of somebody wanting to take over your school district, and you violate TEA's guidelines. You got to think about what you're doing. See, that's why I'm telling you, man, all the rabbits in the race ain't running the same way. Everybody not thinking. I get it. School safety is the most important thing right now. But you got to do it in a way to where you don't run afoul of TEA. You don't run afoul of the governor. You don't run afoul of the pandemic. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is what it is. And that's the way it is. But when you ain't got a lot of smart people in the room, some days you don't get smart answers.
It's going to be interesting, man. So what do you think is going to happen?
They're going to drop the
ball. Decisions already made.
What I think is going to happen is they're going to mandate it and act like it's in the best interest of the kids. What I think then is going to happen is they're going to lose a lot of kids. They're going to lose a lot of kids to charters. They're going to lose a lot of kids to homeschooling because you have a lot of parents that don't want their children to wear masks. So if you in the business of making money because all the kid is to them is a dollar sign, you finna mess up the church's money. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? That's why I'm telling you, man. It is what it is. What you gonna do?
Well, it seems like you have the answer. You know what they're gonna do.
Well, I mean, you got to understand, first of all, I would say this here. If I had a school-age kid, I don't give a damn what the governor say. If I believe the pandemic is real and I got a school-age kid, I'm going to make the best decision for my child. And if that means that I'm not trusting no mask, I'm not trusting them without a mask, you're going to homeschool. That's what I would do with my kid. That's what I would do with my kid. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
tell
not
you
everybody.
something.
But
Go ahead.
not everybody have that option though, Gary. I mean, some of these people are working, on their job. I mean, some are single mothers with multiple children. Who, I mean, how's that going to be taken care of? I mean, how the finances are going to be met? So not everybody would have that luxury to be able to do that.
Some folks have really gotten to the point where they think black people don't know how to function because they ain't got a lot of money. A lot of black folk do know how to function and they ain't got a lot of money. So a lot of parents out there that ain't got the money, that work multiple jobs, that still are able to get their kids back and forth to school. As a parent, you need to make what's best for you. You make the best decision for your child. Yeah. The hell with the school district. Your child got underlying health conditions. No. You see what I'm saying? Mask or no mask, if it was mine, they ain't going in the building. Whatever I got to do to make that happen, that's what I'm going to do as a parent. Do you want to risk the chance of your child going in there getting sick? Because they don't give a damn. Ain't you got to sign a waiver? You can't sue a school district. School districts are immune to lawsuits in the state of Texas. So don't think if your child goes in there and they get sick or they get the COVID and they die, that you can sue the school district. So you have to make that decision. But you have some parents that got money, that want to send their kids to school without masks. What you gonna tell them? You have an obligation to educate them. What you gonna tell them? Aubrey will be right back, y'all. So that's just my thing. As a parent, me, the school district don't make the decision for my kid. Me as a parent would make that decision. And I don't care who would get mad and whatever. Don't come around my eyes thinking you can force me to do something because I ain't gonna do it. Some parents don't want these kids are too young to get the jab. Some parents don't want their kids to get the jab. And if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. They shouldn't be denied an education. There should be multiple plans in place to be able to take care of these kids so that they can get an education. And that's all it boils down to. That's all it boils down to. There's no getting around it. Hold on a second. That's all it boils down to. There should be multiple plans in place to be able to educate every single kid, no matter what the circumstances are. This is why you need a school board that know what they're doing. Not some politicians sitting around riding bicycles every day that just want to play like they God and make decisions that don't even affect them. I'm not for that. I'm not for that. That's just how I feel, and I'm not for it. And it is what it is. So I'm going to tell you what, Aubrey fell off, y'all. That's where we are. So to get you updated, I hopefully he come back. Let me call him. Let me call him, man. I'm going to do this live right here, baby. Let me call Aubrey. Because, I do things a little different, Bear with me. Hold on a second, y'all.
Oh, hey, Garrett, my computer went down, man. I never plugged in.
Hey, can you use your phone?
Man, I don't know how to use it.
All right.
No, yeah, I got it coming back up, man.
All right.
I'm plugged up now.
Yep.
I'm coming back in.
All right. He coming right back. So the thing is, no matter what city, state, county you in, when it comes to a kid going to school with a mask, without a mask, you're the parent. You make that decision. That should be all on you. That should be all on you. All right. Let me get here. I'm waiting on Aubrey to come back in. Waiting for him to put his camera on. Aubrey, in the meantime, how's the court case going with Dr. Candice Matthews? Can you talk about some of the things that's happening right now?
Nah, man, he really don't want me to really deal with that at that particular time.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna be snitching later on it. I saw what I saw. So you ain't gotta say nothing. I'll come and say it myself. So what we ain't gonna do, we ain't gonna hold y'all. And it is what it is. Like I say, you make the decision what you want to do with your child. It's your child. And that's all it boils down to.
I'm not gonna come.
That's all it boils down to. It is your child, and you got to make that decision, not the school district. Say, man, it's a reason I'm the best in the business. I want to thank you for taking the time out to tune in. On behalf of my friend, Aubrey Taylor, I am the 5-star general until tomorrow night. But Wednesday night, Dirty Politics, Attorney Downtown Oliver Brown is going to be in the building. We're going to have some fun, man. I'm going to holler at y'all, man, till tomorrow, man.